Before mining begins, mining companies must meet a series of strict conditions set down by the state government, which apply from the exploration process right through to the closure of the mine once the coal reserve has been extracted. Social and environmental impacts are closely investigated and are strong considerations before mining approval is granted. Once all government approvals are in place and the area has been investigated for Aboriginal heritage items, land must be cleared to allow the mining process to begin. To offset the impact of land clearing, native vegetation is assessed and seeds are collected to be used in rehabilitation so the land can be returned to as natural a state as possible. Mines may also be required to preserve significant tracts of land as offset areas to preserve native flora and fauna. To clear the way for mining, trees are mulched. The resulting mulch is used in the rehabilitation process. Rehabilitation means returning mined land to a safe and stable landform, and is done progressively as the mine operates. Topsoil is removed, mixed with the mulched trees, and stored to be used in the rehabilitation process. Rehabilitation is an integral component of mine site operations, from the very start of exploration through to mine closure. Mining companies have a commitment to rehabilitate the land and leave the site in the best condition possible, and they will progressively rehabilitate the land disturbed during operations to a specified state suited to its agreed end use. Dirt and rock covering coal seams must be removed to access the coal. Large drill pads are used to drill a pattern of holes into which explosives are placed. The drill hole patterns, depth and amount of explosives are designed to ensure the most efficient method of accessing the coal, as well as minimising dust, fume, noise and vibrations resulting from the blast. One of the potential impacts of mining can be the dust emissions from blasting. Mining companies and government regulators recognise this can be a serious issue, and minimising dust is part of the daily work procedures at all mines. Mines have in place a series of dust management procedures, including a weather forecasting system, which allows them to monitor wind strengths in real time and postpone blasting to avoid unfavourable wind conditions. After blasting, excess rock and soil is removed by haul trucks and stockpiled as mining progresses along the coal seam. This is called overburden and is used to shape the landform and allows the rehabilitation of the site progressively as the mine operates. Movement of the haul trucks also carries a risk of creating dust impacts. This can be minimised by water carts wetting dry areas and reducing speeds to minimise wheel-generated dust. Large shovels are used to fill haul trucks for transporting the waste rock and soil, overburden, to waste dumps. Each scoop of material weighs between 50 and 60 tonnes. The overburden is stockpiled until needed to fill the pit as the mine moves along the coal seams. The waste dump is where overburden, the rocks and soil removed in the process of accessing the coal seams, is stockpiled, awaiting the rehabilitation process. Progressive rehabilitation means rehabilitation occurs as the mine disturbs new areas and replaces the newly disturbed land with freshly rehabilitated land. As the mine moves along the coal seam, the resulting pit is typically filled behind it with overburden. Once the overburden has been removed, the seams of coal are exposed. Black coal being mined here is 250 to 300 million years old and was formed in the Permian age. Because of its high energy content, Australian coal is valued around the world. Coal mining has impacts, including disturbance of large tracts of land, dust, and noise. However, coal also plays a large beneficial role in our day-to-day lives. Coal is used in the production of many things we use every day, including concrete, steel, electricity, household appliances, fertilisers and farm equipment, cars, aircraft, carbon fibre, and much more. An excavator fills the haul trucks for transport to the coal handling preparation plant. The excavator used here is smaller than the one used to remove overburden, as the loading operation is much more precise because the operator does not want to mix dirt with the coal. Dust generation is closely monitored around trucking. It is controlled by using water carts to wet the road surface and by adjusting the speed of the trucks. Haul trucks vary in size, but typically can carry between 150 and 250 tonnes of coal. To put that into perspective, the average household car weighs about 2 tonnes. Trucks and other mining machinery are fitted with suppressors to minimise noise impacts. As well as truck, excavator and other machinery operators, mines offer a diverse range of employment opportunities, including jobs for tradesmen, geologists, environmental scientists, engineers, marketers, communication officers, administration and management, human resources, health and safety, and much more. Coal is transported to the coal handling preparation plant, where it is generally washed and crushed before being sent by conveyor belt to a stockpile to await train loading. During the washing process, laboratory testing is done to check the quality and specifications of the coal. Different specifications and types of coal are used for different processes. For example, thermal coal is used to generate electricity, and coking coal is used to produce steel. To minimise dust, coal stockpiles can be wetted, and the coal can also be sprayed as it is being loaded into trains for transport to local users or shipping overseas. It is again tested for specification before being shipped to ensure the quality required by the customer. The overburden used to fill in the pit is usually shaped to look like the surrounding landscape. Rehabilitation can take a variety of forms, depending on the intended final use of the land. For example, the land can be returned to bushland or be developed as grazing land to provide an agricultural industry after the mining has finished. Once placed back in the pit, the overburden is covered with fertile topsoil, which was collected earlier in the mining process, and grasses and trees, seeds from which may have also been collected in the land clearing process, are planted to suit the intended final use of the land. Rehabilitation means returning mined land to a safe and stable landform, and is done progressively as the mine operates. Rehabilitation must occur as agreed in the mine's operation approval. All mines must provide a security deposit, funds which are not fully released until all rehabilitation is complete and its quality is approved by the government. Rehabilitation is a long-term commitment. After grasses and trees are planted, the land is closely monitored by the mining company's rehabilitation experts and inspected by government regulatory bodies. Dead or stag trees are placed in rehabilitation areas to encourage the return of native birds and animals. As grass and trees grow, the land begins to look more like it did before mining occurs. The growth of the vegetation continues to be closely monitored to ensure successful rehabilitation and is subject to independent auditing. Mature rehabilitation can be indistinguishable from land that has never been mined. In fact, in some cases, it is in better shape than the neighbouring unmined land due to the scientific decisions made by the rehabilitation experts in terms of the land shape, addition of fertile topsoils, minerals, fertilisers, plant species, and ongoing monitoring. Coal mining has impacts, including land disturbance, dust, and noise. However, coal plays a large and beneficial role in our day-to-day lives due to the everyday products it is used to produce.